Nigeria boasts of a dynamic and youthful populace. Over 65 million Nigerians are between the ages of 10 and 24. According to National Youth Employment Action Plan of 2021 to 2024, youth unemployment remains a major issue despite varieties of programs. As of 2020, 53.4% of Nigerian youths were unemployed. Sadly, even those that manage to get employed can barely survive with their paychecks. The national average monthly salary in Nigeria is about 340,000 naira, with a median of about 302,000 naira. In Lagos, which is known as the economic powerhouse of Nigeria, 78% of workers earn 100,000 per month or even less, while only 7% of workers earn above 200,000 per month. The national minimum wage is 70,000 naira per month. This is just an increase from the previous or from the initial 30,000 naira per month. And even with this increase, practically 70,000 naira per month is far way below living standard in Nigeria. A young Nigerian youth just starting up a family, for instance, earn about 130,000 naira per month. My question is, how do you expect these families to survive with such income? A recent empirical review of youth employment policies in Nigeria highlights that despite the introduction of varieties of initiatives, these initiatives still fail to reduce unemployment amongst Nigerian youths. This failure is mostly connected to poor governance, poor coordination, poor funding, and lack of long-term developmental integration. In 2023, there was a study aimed at linking the level of unemployment amongst Nigerian youth and the growth in Nigeria's economy. But guess what? It was discovered that there was a negative relationship between these two, meaning the higher the unemployment level amongst Nigerian youth, the slower the momentum in Nigeria's economy. That should tell you the power of Nigerians' youths. So, what is the way forward? Since the 70,000 per month minimum wage in Nigeria is far less the basic cost of living in Nigeria, let's peg this minimum wage to inflation and cost of living indices. Hence, revising this minimum wage every year as against the regular 4 to 5 years. After reviewing and adjusting minimum wage every year, let's also enforce compliance through random labor inspections and also apply strict penalties for employers that default. This solution has worked in countries like South Africa, where minimum wage is being reviewed every year to accommodate inflation, hence help to contain or to maintain balance in purchasing power. 2. Let's reduce youth dependence on informal work. 92 to 93% of Nigerian young workers are in informal employment, which is usually unregulated and very low pay. To solve this problem, let's provide tax incentives to MSMEs that employ youths and provide written contracts. This will in turn encourage them to put their employees or take the welfare of their employees more seriously. Also, let's expand access to affordable business registration and reduce bureaucratic hurdles. This has been a success in countries like Rwanda. Rwanda's SME formalization policy has reduced informal workers by 14% in 5 years. This was mostly achieved through tax holidays and free business registration for startups. 3. Let's target skill development in growth sectors. Many Nigerian graduates have degrees that are misaligned with market demand, hence lead to increase in underemployment. This problem can be solved by providing vocational and technical training in high demand sectors, which include renewable energy, tech, agriculture, and logistics. Let's also create partnerships between universities and private companies to offer paid internships. This strategy has been proven to work in countries like Germany. At the moment, Germany has the least level of youth unemployment in Europe. This is because they operate a dual training system where they link students with companies from day one. 4. Let's introduce or encourage youth wage subsidy program. As we already know, most employers avoid hiring young graduates due to training costs. This problem can be solved if government temporarily pay 30 to 40% of youth salaries in about 12 to 18 months of their employment, especially in SMEs and startups. This strategy has proven to work in countries like South Africa. South African employment tax incentive reduce youth hiring costs for employers, hence create room for hundreds of thousands of youth to get employed. 5. Let's strengthen labor rights and collective bargaining. Many young workers have no bargaining power, especially in the informal sector. This problem can be solved if we support youth trade unions and digital labor rights platforms where workers can anonymously report any wage abuse or any abuse in wages. Also, let's extend legal protection for gig workers in ride-hailing, logistics, and freelancing. This has proven to work in countries like Kenya. Kenya's 2021 gig worker law has required platforms to sign formal contracts and also meet payment timelines. 6. Let's create youth-owned cooperatives. Young entrepreneurs lack access to markets, finance, and negotiating power. These problems can be solved if we mentor and fund young cooperatives in key industries like agriculture, tech, and fashion. Also, at the same time, provide cooperative-wide wage guarantees for members. This system has proven to work in countries like India. In India, dairy cooperative has allowed youth or rural youth to collectively earn stable income above market average for decades. 7. Let's tie foreign investment incentives to youth employment. Since many foreign companies benefit from Nigerian large market without contributing meaningfully to the youth wages, let's offer them tax break or quick permit if only 30% of the job created are for Nigerians under 35 years, and the wages to be paid to this Nigerian youth should be above the minimum wage. This has proven to work in countries like Ethiopia. Ethiopia Industrial Park has attracted foreign investors by linking tax incentives to youth hiring quotas. In conclusion, behind these numbers are millions of hopeful young Nigerians. They fuel the nation's future, but many are paid well below what they deserve. Hence the struggle for decent wages, good job, and also optimism. Nigerian youths are not asking for charity. They are only demanding fairness. A fair day's pay for a fair day's job. The question is not whether we can afford to pay our young people more. The real question is, can we afford not to? I will leave that question for you to answer. Thank you and see you on our next episode. Bye.